Hey, thanks for waiting. I'm Fabian. This is Washbear. We are talking about the B2B customer journey. And if you think B2B e-commerce is boring, I want you to think again. First of all, it's super relevant. The total revenue of B2B e-commerce has constantly been growing over the past decade, and it's far from over. There's so much untapped potential. I'm talking to many manufacturers who are stuck in the 80s when it comes to digitalization. But now a new generation of leadership is taking over, and they begin to think different about sales and customer service. And these projects are far from boring. I can tell you from having worked on B2B projects for the past 10 years, there are interesting challenges, interesting features. It's just different. And I remember one of my first B2B projects as a developer. And I found it funny that Magento was basically a front end for SAP. Today I understand. And let me take you on this journey. If you heard that B2B customers are less demanding, forget that. Expectations change. A new generation of buyers wants digital experiences. According to a recent survey, 83% of B2B buyers expect self-service portals to place orders, to retrieve information, to get support. This is my generation. We prefer doing stuff online than picking up the phone. And the younger Gen Z even more. Quick show of hands, who feels the same? I would have expected more at this conference, but it's a lot. And this is where manufacturers and distributors need to catch up with. You may have heard the term consumeration of B2B, meaning that today's B2B buyers expect the same experience they know from personal online shopping. And that's halfway true. I've said it myself. They expect the same convenience that they know from Amazon. But that doesn't mean that they want or need the same user experience. The same person has different needs and expectations in private and in business context. This distinction is important. The B2B customers are not shopping for fun. They are there because it is their job. In private, they want to be inspired. They want to have a shopping experience. At work, they want to get shit done. And our job is it to help them get their job done more efficiently. I forgot this slide. There we are. So what are the main questions a B2B customer needs answered before buying? First, does this solve my problem? Second, do you have it? Third, what is my price? And fourth, when can I have it? To answer the first question, good data is key. Actually, good product data is a prerequisite for successful e-commerce. And that's also where many manufacturers and distributors struggle. They don't have a single source of truth. They have incomplete, not normalized data in the ERP. That's a topic for a whole different talk. But it's super important to get product data straight. And it's also necessary to answer the second question. Do you have it? This is about discoverability, meaning a good search, good filter navigation, sensible category structure. All this is not possible without complete and structured product data. Then, what is my price? What is my price? In B2B, customers often have individually negotiated price lists. And in Adobe Commerce, you can achieve this with the shared catalog feature. We often implement it with a direct ERP integration, fetching the customer price lists live from the ERP. But however you do it, it's important that you show the customers their own price as early as possible. then when can I have it? A recent study states that 68% of B2B buyers leave the website if they don't find any availability information. So if you don't show anything at all, you're losing a lot of business. But it's also important to keep in mind that accuracy is more important than speed in B2B. Because supply chains must be managed efficiently. The customer needs to know when they get their stuff. But let's start the customer journey at the very beginning. The first sale is often still made in person. And that's also where a common objection comes from. E-commerce don't work for us. Our customers want the personal interaction. Our products need explanation. But that's not a contradiction at all. The outside sales role is still very important to gain and nurture clients. But there's a shift towards hybrid sales, where the e-commerce platform is used by the sales teams to complement the traditional methods. And I say e-commerce platform. You may want to avoid the term shop when talking to B2B companies, especially manufacturers, because it sounds too much like retail, and it doesn't do justice to the versatility of the platform if done right. Because in B2B, not everything revolves around converting sales online, unlike in B2C. So how do we help these outside sales teams? And especially if they sell highly individualized products, they can't carry around samples of everything. But with a platform like Magento, they can have a digital product presentation while talking to the customer. For example, with 3D configurators and with specialized product finders, the platform becomes a booster for the sales team. And for example, with this simple product finder, they can enter the inner dimensions of the product to package. They sell packaging and immediately see a list of suitable boxes or decks on the tablet while talking to the customer. And the salespeople love it. They quickly find the right product. And that's also important. You don't just build the features in the shop for the customers, but also for the sales team. If done right, they become a main user of the platform. We continue with a sales representative at the customer side. With the e-commerce platform, they can immediately create a quote with the negotiated price ready to order. And that's also a feature of the e-commerce, negotiable quotes. They can prepare cards on behalf of the customer, prepare card templates, for example, to reorder supplies later or while at the customer. Remember, it's about getting the job done, not just for the customers, also for the sales team, so that they have more time for the one thing that they are best at, the human interaction, the actual selling. Fast forward. You have a happy customer, they need to order again. Let's look at various use cases and how we can make it more efficient for them. First is ordering the same product again. And that can be a custom-made product that no other customer sees. Get it into the shop so that they see it and they can reorder it. And one way to make it easy is to show a list of all previously ordered products so that they don't have to search the catalog or their previous orders. Instead, they have one grid where they can search and filter immediately what they had before. And if they previously bought a standard product, which is not available anymore, don't leave them hanging. Otherwise, they're gone, they look somewhere else. Instead, keep the deep link of this product, and on the product page, show alternatives. You can build a variation of the related product feature to show successor articles so that they still find the right thing that they need. Then there are card templates, as mentioned before, also known as requisition lists in Adobe Commerce. Makes it easy to create similar orders again. And that's what the customers really value, the easy reordering. It saves time, they have less errors, it's efficient. Second use case are replacement parts or wearable parts, consumable supplies. For example, if you sell machines, those machines will need replacement parts. And you might have hundreds of thousands or even millions of individual replacement parts in the catalog. Don't let the customer search through it for what they need. Instead, maintain parts lists. Now, you know exactly which machines they bought. You know exactly for each of those machines which parts are available. The manufacturers typically have these lists in their ERP already, make it available in Magento. Here on the screenshot, you see an area in the customer account where they can manage all, or where they can see all their previously bought machines with all the information and the parts lists. And those can be custom-built machines that are not sold online. I mean, it's possible to sell huge machines online, but not often the case. Still, the information is there, get it into Magento. And to make it even more convenient, you can place a QR code on the machines that goes directly to this page or the parts lists. Then for consumable supplies, the customer often can predict when they need the next batch. So let them schedule orders, schedule recurring orders that will then be placed automatically or prepared for manual approval. And you can take this automation even further with IoT devices, sensors connected to the internet, who are triggered when replacement or refill is needed and place an order by themselves via a simple API, which you also can use for other intelligent client systems, like predictive maintenance. There's a lot of innovation going on in that direction. Be ready for it. And all this automation is actually a huge game changer because it becomes an absolute no-brainer to reorder supplies from you. I mean, you don't have to do anything. It just happens. That's super efficient. And if you offer this best customer experience, you don't have to sell through the cheapest price anymore because the time saved is worth more than maybe saving a few pounds elsewhere. Third use case, the customer has a list of stuff they need. And for example, if they are a reseller, these lists can become very big. So it's important to make it fast and simple to enter these orders. One way is offering quick entry via keyboard, so they don't have to click through the shops. They have their SKUs, they have the quantities, they enter them. But still, even if you do it with copy and paste, it's a manual process that takes time, that is error prone. But they have these lists somewhere. Could be Excel or something else where they can export a CSV file. So make it possible to upload the CSV file right into the cart. Both of this is, again, a feature of Adobe Commerce, but you can make it even better for resellers who typically have their own SKUs in their system. Let them use it. Just let them use them. Let them upload a mapping once in their account, and then they can use their own lists without changing anything in their workflows. Yeah, the fewer manual steps, the fewer errors. Again, it's efficient, and efficiency means customer satisfaction. In B2B, everything is about complexity. We have complex customers, complex products, complex systems, complex orders. Let's have a look at order workflows. The typical scenario is that someone in production creates an order, but someone in finance needs to approve it. So it's important for B2B customers to have their own user and permission management. In Adobe Commerce, you have the purchase orders features for these workflows that covers the basics, I'd say. Another part of complexity are the longer sales cycles. It's not like a cart is created and then immediately ordered. So you have to think about things like abandoned carts in a different way. Consider integrating a CRM to create personalized touch points between cart creation and the final order. That can be carried out by the sales team in person or with some kind of automation. Anyhow, The CRM helps organizing this. So let the CRM use the data of Magento. Last key for customer satisfaction is information availability. In B2B e-commerce, the customer account has much more focus than in B2C. It can become a full-fledged customer portal. And it will be used a lot if you put the right relevant information there. And this starts with basic stuff like orders, order status, order documents, but not the documents that Magento creates. In most cases, in the B2B e-commerce scenario, these are completely irrelevant because everything is handled by the ERP. The ERP is the heart of the business for B2B companies. So get the documents from the ERP, all of them, even if the orders were not completed within the shop. Then add personalized downloads like contracts, legal documents, data sheets. These documents are somewhere in the ERP, some other asset management. Make them available to the customer so that they don't have to call support if they need something. Saves time on all sides. Another important information is availability, like mentioned before. Because you need to manage complex supply chains, you need to know when you get what. And here you see an example. If you can see it, someone enters a quantity of 100, and we fetch live from the ERP. 14 pieces are available now. You get them at this date. The other 86 pieces, you get them at this date. And that's something they can plan with. And they also only need to create one order, and they know the delivery will be split. If you have this information available, use it. And I've rushed through it because I actually skipped a few things I wanted to say, but that's okay. So we have time to look at the takeaways. I didn't expect this. So once again, efficiency. This is key. Data integration is crucial. Oh yeah, that was one thing, but I hope you got it anyways. Yeah, integrating the ERP is absolutely important in all the other systems. It's properly connected data is key for a personalized user experience. Then transparency, personalization, they drive trust, and automation is a game changer. Thank you.